All right, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Gonna give it a minute to let people join if they want to. If not, that's perfectly all right. Hope everybody's having a good day. Hope everybody's doing well. We're gonna talk about this Rust shooting. Uh, so uh, we always get started with the fair use right here. Seems my first live stream back. Of course, they flagged my first live stream back. YouTube. As you guys know, this is my second YouTube channel that I started. My first YouTube channel was Flint Trip channel also, but of course they decided to take. I had too much truth on there, I guess, for them. So I won the copyright strike disagreements. I won every one of them, and they still suspended my account. Uh, I have all the proof, the emails, and everything saying that I won my disputes with YouTube. Unfortunately, because I didn't have 1,000 subscribers, that there was nobody that I could talk to. And like I said, long story short, I lost that channel. Started this channel. Actually, I started probably around the same time as the first one. It was just my backup channel. I just had it as a backup, so I'd only uploaded certain things to this channel. But anyways, so once I realized that that channel was down, like I always told everyone, they weren't going to keep me down. They stopped them. I was going to create another one. They stopped this one. I'll create another one, and so on and so on. So just going to keep doing the Lord's work for as long as I feel that He is calling me to do this. So, like I said, I'm not perfect by any means. Still a beginner. I always want to give a shout out to RV Truth. Such an inspiration to just not only myself, but a lot of people. Very, very good dude. Animal lover. Sticks up for animal rights. And like he says, in life you're not gonna agree with everybody on every single thing. You're gonna have disagreements. Okay, if everybody agreed on everything, that would be more like a cult. So we gotta. There's going to be disagreements here and there, maybe on little things, as long as it's not main doctrinal things. It is what it is. But yeah, I really like RV, and recommend him highly to anybody that's looking for truth in the game. He is a soldier, been around since the beginning. I mean, that man has been around since before, most people. I know there were maybe a couple that were on around the same time as him, but he is definitely the first one that put the majority of the information out there. RV Truth is great. There's a few other channels, that have been put some stuff out there. However, I do question those channels. I think that they're, maybe government channels, shill channels. However, there still is some good information in, like all things in life. You take the good with the bad. So just because someone's a shill or whatever doesn't mean that maybe they're not putting out all bad stuff. A good example of that is Brian Denglinger of King James Video Ministries. Actually Born Again Barbarian, I believe, is what his name is now. But he's got a lot of great work. He's also got a lot of not great work, and I believe that he's associated with the people, with high-ranking people that he shouldn't be. Uh, so, anyways, with that said, we're going to get started with the presentation today. Fair use, as always, in good faith. um, this is used under the copyright 1976. So yeah, like I said, they strike my first live stream back. So hopefully we have better luck with this one. All right, we're gonna get started here with the first page of this share screen. So let's get it going. So in case you didn't know what the Alex Baldwin thing is, it's the Russ shooting, or excuse me, the Russ Bang Bang incident on October 21st, 2021, at the Bonanza Creek Ranch in Bonanza City, New Mexico, United States. Cinematographer Helena Hutchins was fatally, and director Joel Souza was injured on the set of the film Rust when a live round was discharged from a revolver used as a prop by actor Alec Baldwin. The weapon had not been thoroughly checked for safety. An advanced incident is currently being investigated by the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office in New Mexico. First Judicial um, Judicial District Attorney in the New Mexico Occupational Health and Safety Bureau. Production of Rust was suspended indefinitely. The incident sparked a debate on occupational safety in the film industry, the treatment of its employees, and of its real or use of real, you know what, as props. So, of course, guys, this is the main media uh, scare tactic that they have right here. This is the they always they're trying to get rid of these as much as they can, especially the um, automatic ones. But these guys are actors, and that's the main point of this. This is nothing but a scene. It's a production, and if you guys go and watch the video that they released of um, the so-called you know what, the incident that happened, the bang bang incident, it totally is not believable. It's not viable by any stretch of the means. I mean, it's pretty sad because yeah, it's just horrible. It is. We watched the footage, and it's just totally it's totally staged, guys. I'm not even gonna bore you the details of it, of watching it. You guys can go watch it yourself. I believe Cop Watch has a copy of it. I have so much that we got to get to. We're going to do a lot of the numerology. We're going to touch on uh, some of the numerology with this. Um, Again, if you guys don't know, this is the fatal bang bang incident that happened on the film set of Rust, where a revolver used as a prop was supposedly uh, took the life of I believe it was the director, Helena Hutchinson, I believe. So, all right, we're going to get into the news article, and then we're going to jump to some of the numerology. Okay. All right. Here is. All right, bear with me, guys. All right. Should be coming up. All right. As you guys can see, it says cinematographer Helena Hutchins, news shocks the world. Hollywood celebs pay tribute. Um, happened to be dead at 42, right? 42. If you guys don't know about 42, uh, and look it up in occult numerology, I have it for you guys. Hold on, I have it up for you. Da-da, da-da. I apologize, guys. It's been a minute since I've been live, so I don't have everything. I don't, not as sharp as I was before. I just got to get back into the. All right. In Scripture, the meaning of the number 42 is derived from its direct connection from the coming Antichrist. His evil efforts will last 42 months in the end time, and thus it is firmly associated with him. Then the angel gave me a measuring rod like a staff, saying, Arise in the measure of the temple, measure the temple of God, and at the altar, and they shall trample upon the holy city for 42 months. So she just so happens to be dead at 42. Like I said, we're going to get into some of the numerology here. Revelation 13 states at the end states at the end time, beast will power will be so powerful no one will be able to make war with him. He will speak boastful things and receive authority to do almost anything he wants for 42 months. 42 is made up of 6 and 7, showing a link between mankind and God's spirit, and a link between the Antichrist and Jesus Christ. All right. Now, little appearances of number 42. The phrase "little children" appears 42 times in the Old Testament. The tribe of Levi was given a total number of 48 cities as a number of their inheritance in the land of milk and honey. 6 of these cities were to be disdained in special cities of refuge, number 6 through 7, leaving 42 other cities. King Uzziah of Judah, excuse me, Judah begins his reign at 42 years old, but was only on the throne for 1 year. So just want to touch a little bit. If you want to pause and read the screen, you can. I'll scroll through it real quick for you. You can go back and I believe yeah, that's the end of it. So that's a little touching on the number 42. So supposedly they're pulling this whole uh, hoax, I guess is what we'll call it, because it certainly didn't happen. You know, you guys go, they're actors, okay? Alec Baldwin is an actor. They're all actors. They're all involved with acting in Hollywood. All right, so we're gonna get on to the next thing where they're gonna say Helena Hutchins was 18 inches away, and if you guys don't know, 18 is also one of the numbers of the devil. 666 is 18, so it says Helena Hutchins was 18 inches away from gun Alec Baldwin was holding. Crew member says. So you think it's coincidence? Look at this guy. Ridiculous. Look at these are actors, okay? Actors. This is what he is. He is a actor. And this whole production of this whole movie that they're putting on, the whole thing was a production, okay? And I'm going to prove that to you if you need enough time to go through a lot of this evidence, okay? I'm going to show you that the so-called prop handler armorer had a tattoo of a crow on her back. She had a tattoo, or excuse me, on her arm, and they both, her and Alec Baldwin, both mentioned Brandon Lee's death. Why would she have a picture of the crow in the movie that Brandon Lee died on? She's got a tattoo of it on her arm. You think it's coincidence that she just happened to get a tattoo of a crow on her arm? No. I'm going to show you that right now. Actually, we'll get right into this little performance that she tries to give. We'll play a quick little second of it. I want you guys to hear what she says because she mentions Brandon Lee, and he obviously died on, on the set of a movie where somebody put a live round in the gun, and supposedly he, just like Bruce Lee's dad, the whole death was a hoax. It's been proven on my other channel that they took down, but other people have proven it too. His son's death was also a hoax. Okay, it didn't really happen. It just is what it is. But she's gonna mention, and you can see the shirt she's got right there, her skull shirt, right? Her little satanic shirt. I'm gonna show you that she's a little Satanist. But I mentioned the crow, and she's got a crow tattoo on her arm, right? Now, what are the odds that her and Alec Baldwin both mentioned Brandon Lee and the crow in their interviews? It's because, and why would she get a tattoo on her arm of a crow? Because she knew that this was going to be her coming to the spotlight, her coming to the stage. These people are all actors.
Yeah, just the dummies. We were just about to get into the blank stuff, and like part of my job is checking the barrel to make sure nothing's in it, because that's how Brandon Lee died.
Yes, yeah. That's so how Brandon Lee died. Sorry if there was an echo, guys, but he said that's how Brandon Lee died. All right, you just heard it out of her own mouth. See her little skull shirt, right? I'm gonna show you the shirt she's wearing, and another picture where she's hold on, guys, give me 1 second. Where she's right here. Okay, so I'm gonna share this one with you. She's a actor, guys, just like her daddy. Okay, but she's a Satanist, like all of them. Right here. Never a saint, with her upside down broken cross, satanic Baphomet with the devil holding the cross. Look, holding the cross, holding the cross in flames, as you guys can see, with the devil. The so-called imagine, how the Hollywood pigmentation of the devil, right? Where he's red and got a pitchfork and Hollywood's representation of him. But look, she's wearing a Satanist shirt. She's a Satanist. She's got her little spider tattoo there. She's got her crow tattoo on her arm. I just showed you where she's mentioned in Brandon Lee in the movie The Crow. And so this little vixen right here, like I'm telling you guys, all part of the you call it, part of the scene. She's the actor. So I'm gonna keep it moving, guys. On the next thing, and like I showed you guys a minute ago in the news article where it said so-called Alec Baldwin was 18 inches away from uh, Helena Hutchison before she so-called before he so-called pulled the trigger and went bang bang. But like I told you, 18 inches it said, right? Well, same reason why Peyton Manning picks number 18, right? Because 18 is 6 plus 6 plus 6, which is another one of Satan's number. As you guys can see the front of this shirt, it says Hail Peyton. So like I'm telling you guys, I'm putting all this proof together. I'm showing you the news articles where they're not by coincidence. You start looking into this stuff, you realize that it's all connected. It's just another fabricated lie of the establishment, of the government, the elite, Jesuits, Illuminati, whoever you want to blame it on. They're all in it together. They all have the same goal. So, like I said, I'm just connecting the dots for you here. Um, Next thing I'm going to show you guys, like I said, we're going to start off with some of the news articles and numerology. Every time I go to this website, it wants to download some 2 minute ski um, music. So, yeah, I hate that, but oh well. As you guys can see, because some of the numerology I'm going to show you guys, it's important that you guys understand a little bit about satanic numerology and how the elite work, because they're all Satanists. So satanic numerology, 6 plus 6 plus 6, you get it right, 666. Everybody knows it, right? The number of the beast is 6 plus 6 plus 6 according to the Bible, right? Well, 9 is also Satan's number. Like I tell people, I done did a whole expose on the number 9 on my other channel. Why? Matt Stafford wears number 9, right? Why he goes by Matt instead of Matthew, and his actual first name is John, but Matt in numerology is 9 and 13, right? 9 and 13. So you got 9 and 13, devil's number, right? Oops, sorry guys. Oh, I didn't know I did that. I've never actually done that before. I have to actually check that out and see what other information this website has on it. But anyways, Satan's number is 9, 13, and also 666, right? We also just shown 18. He has many numbers, right? Okay, so we're going to keep this moving, and I'm going to show you guys the table of 9. It's important to understand this. 9 times 1 equals 9. 9 times 2 equals 18, right? 1 plus 8 equals 9. 9 times 3, 27. 2 plus 7 equals 9. 9 times 4 equals 36. 3 plus 6 equals 9. 9 times 5 equals 45. 4 plus 6 equals 9. 9 times 6 equals 54. 5 plus 4 equals 9. Now, obviously, as you can see, it goes on and on. So, you keep it moving because there's a lot to present. So, I just wanted to touch on this a little bit. I didn't know that I actually could click that. I don't know what I clicked before and it went to something, but anyways, I was actually just looking up numerology one day and this came up because I was having people were doubting me when I was saying 9 is Satan's number. People were saying, "Where do you get that from? Where do you get that from? Prove it, prove it." So I'm proving it, and I've also proved it in many other studies, in-depth studies where I've shown, not on this channel, and I apologize if somebody's new and they're not familiar with my old channel, but I've proven 9 is Satan's number, one of Satan's numbers, I should say. I apologize, but anyways, in the Satanic Temple, when they're invoking Satan to the altar, demons, whatever you want to call it, they ring the bell 9 times. Now I've proven this. You guys can go look this up. Now, if you guys use Google as your search engine, you're probably not going to find very much because the internet is scrubbed very, very tightly, especially if you use a search engine like Google. So let me just make sure I'm not missing any comments. See comments. That's why I wanted to make sure. I apologize that I wasn't missing any comments. Johnny Depp and the Memphis 3 all got met. Yeah, I noticed that as soon as he got out. As soon as he got released from prison. Let me take that. I'm actually glad I checked this out because I didn't want to remove that banner, thumbs up banner. Yeah, I seen that. Damien Eccles. Let's see if it's gone. It looks like it's showing a little um like reverb on my screen. So hopefully you guys can see that all right. There it goes. My screen's all right. Anyways, ooh, I shared the wrong one. But anyways, yes, Jesse. Sorry, I was having a little bit of trouble here for some reason. I'm not sure why it's doing that. There you go. But yeah, I seen that. Keeping it moving. So we have sequence. For some reason I can't see your bottom comment. But anyways, we're gonna the 8 inches of the curvature per mile squared equates 666 exactly. Good call. Good catch there. All right, let's finish this up on this website real quick. But yeah, anyways, I just wanted to say that yeah, a lot of people helped me out, and they tried saying that 9 wasn't Satan's number. Prove it, because I was trying to say that that's why Matt Stafford wears number 9. And when I put it in the we put it in the numerology calculator, and I would show people, hey, Matt equals in Pythagorean it equals 9, and then in Chaldean it equals 13. If I remember right, it's been a while. And like I said, people were saying, prove it, prove it, prove it. So I did a study on it, and I proved that number 9 was one of Satan's number. And like I said, even though I won all my appeals on YouTube um, under the Millennium Digital Copyright Act, because I was under 1,000 subs, there was nobody that I could contact. They gave me 3 strikes in one day, so I was gone. So that's how they hit me, and it was my fault for having NFL videos on there, which other people do and don't have a problem with it. But I decided that I wasn't going to put NFL videos on anymore because I'm not going to, not on this channel anyways. I'll have another one for that, but for for sports type of stuff. But I don't want this channel to get flagged. I want to put truth out on this one, and I had a lot of truth out on my other one, and it was just a reason for them to flag it. So, anyways, along, guys. Don't mean to drag feet there, but table of the beast 666 times 1 equals 666. 6 plus 6 equals 18. 1 and 6 equals 9. 666 times 2 equals 1032. Um, excuse me, 1332. And like I said, 1 plus 3 plus 3 plus 9 or excuse me, plus 2 equals 9, and so on, as you guys can see. So that's just very interesting how those numbers seem to work out. It says, and they both keep on infinitely multiplying and adding up to 9, Satan's number again. So anybody that doubted me, like I said, this was the website I came across a long time ago, and I put it in my favorites because, like I said, it has a lot of information, and it's one of those quick things that I can always go back to and show people without a doubt that it's one of his numbers, because this website is done by Satanists for Satanists. Okay, so they're not gonna lie to their own people, guys. Not to mention, I know what I'm talking about. I've proved this on multiple levels, not just with one website or one piece of evidence. Like I said, anyways, I've proved it out of you go watching any of them, you go read any of their materials, and you'll find it in there that they ring the bell 9 times to invoke their god Satan. So anyways, adding up to 9, Satan's number, the number of the ego, as it keeps returning unto itself. As a study of the unknown known shows the satanic forces work in variables of 9, epochs and ages. Keeping this in mind, also consider multiples of 9 in seconds, minutes, hours, days, months, as in pregnancy, the genesis of life, 9 years, etc. Also consider the ninth letter in the alphabet is I, again, the representation of self. Satan represents the flesh, carnal desire, and all the considerations of the physical aspects of existence of the material attainment. Satan is in the body, is the body with all its lust, blah, 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 blah. Who cares what that says? Anyways, like I said, the important part, like I just wanted to show you guys the numbers. It kind of goes on here. It talks a little bit about the Kabbalah. It's number 2, 7, 5, and 4. Like I said, if you guys want to pause it and read it, you're more than welcome to. But I got too much to present to concentrate on this. I just wanted to show you guys the number aspect. When I get to the numerology calculator, some of this stuff's going to come into play. Okay, so 666, you can see the devil's pitchfork with the upside down cross, of course, because they're Satanists, me, myself, and I. 666, and what are the sinister 666? Well, it is truly the number of the beast as it coincides with 9. Add the three sixes together and you'll get 18. Add the 1 and 8 to excuse me. Add the 1 and the 8 and you get 9. You will find that by adding the quotient unto itself, it will constantly be a derivative of 9, Satan's supreme number. So a lot of people that said prove it that that's the number. That's more than proven. 666 represents the beast within, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it's more of that stuff. All right, so we're going to stop sharing this. Like I said, uh, you're more than welcome to read it. 13 also, um, what I was trying to get to. I thought it does touch on 13 right here. Okay, 13 is a satanic number. It is that in that it is associated with all things dark and mysterious and inspires fear in the populace. It is considered an unlucky number by the masses, yeah, like Friday the 13th. Yet they do not know why. The dread of 13th or trichodicophobia, I think I said that right. Apologize, but anyways, is so entrenched in culture that laborious efforts have been made to avoid any association with it whatsoever. Floors of the buildings are spared the curse of 13. The number is skipped altogether, but like it or not, it is still the 13th floor. The number 13 conjures up images of witches and black cats and even death. It stimulates unexplained, unrealized primal fears through the subconscious saturation. The number 13 represents the 13 cycles of the moon as deified by Hecate, the dark goddess of witchcraft and the underworld. On the full moon, Hecate, which is Hecate, I don't know, Hecate, I probably am saying that wrong, but Hecate witches would gather in the night in the covens of 13 to work magic. The weakness of the day, the weekends of today attempt to replicate the ancient rites with their miserable little spells, but fail miserably with their neo-apend. It's hard for me to see. My computer screen's kind of dark. Sorry, guys, but Amaranth hippie haze. So we'll finish it up by the historic origins. The modern basis for the aurora that surrounds the Friday the 13th stems from October the 13th, 1307. On this date, the Pope of the Church in Rome, in conjunction with the King of France, carried out a secret death warrant against the Knight Templar. The Templars were terminated as heretics, never again to hold the power that they held for so long as the Grand Master, Jacques Stolé, was arrested, and before he was killed, he was tortured and crucified. Friday the 13th is the day that when people would rather stay in their holes instead of having to face the evil day would bring them. For they have created this curse for themselves. Haunted houses are often portrayed as having a 13 in the address, such as 1313 Mockingbird Lane. Johnny Cash sings about the number 13 in the album American Recordings, 13, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of songs like John Lennon, Number 9 Dream. I mean, there's a lot of songs with the number 9. So anyways, I just wanted to share that. I'll look into the rest of that and share some more later if I come across anything that's worthy of sharing. But right now, like I said, I want to focus on excuse me, I'm trying to find where we left off at. So I'll share this one real quick just to show these are actors. What's it say? Earth tilt at 23.6 degrees. Yeah, that's what they tell us, huh? Friday the 13th was the day that the church killed the Knights Templar. Yeah, exactly. Yes, sir. All right. So let me get back to what I was trying to share. Trying to make this about connect all. I got a lot of stuff up about this Alec Baldwin hoax, and that's just what it is. They're all actors, which anybody with common sense, I mean, can put two and two together. But A lot of people are just, well, most people are just sheep and they just go along with crowds. So it is what it is. Uh, anyways, oh, did I share the one? That's not right. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, hold on. This is what I want to show you. Let it load up. I apologize. Pictures. There we go. As you guys seen earlier in the video, she's wearing that skull shirt, and I showed you guys just before. I showed you the numerology. I showed you she was wearing her little satanic shirt. She's a Satanist and an actor, just trying to make it big. And the reason why she got her little crow tattoo is because, and you guys can see the crow tattoo right here. That's what I wanted to show you guys. You can see her little crow tattoo that she got, obviously because she knew this was going to be her come on to the stage. This was going to be her ticket to fame right here. She was going to pretend that she's the armorer and that she, and if you guys, like I said, go to Cop Watch, watch the video where she, let me show you the video of Alec Baldwin where he mentions um, Brandon Lee and the Crow. I just got done showing where she mentioned Brandon Lee and the Crow. It's the odds that both of these people are talking about the Crow. She's got a tattoo of the Crow. I mean, come on now. They just think everybody's a coincidence theory anymore. So let's listen to what Alec Baldwin says right here. Which again, he's just an actor. At one time in this interview, he was like, "I'm so emotional," and he didn't miss a beat when he said it, guys. Total psychopath. I mean, he didn't bat his eyes, didn't move his face, his voice didn't change. This man was not affected at all, but he said he was getting emotional. What a clown! But this is where he's going to mention Brandon Lee and the Crow.
Guns, the theatrical guns, John Eric Hexum and Brandon Lee. They put the live round in, and I'm told even with the flash powder, you can cause contusions and you can do a brain bleed and die, which both of them died.
Right.
I think
Acting.
with Brandon Lee, there was a piece of material lodged in the thing that shot.
Now look at him. He didn't mention his name once, but he mentioned it twice.
From the, something.
Yeah.
I don't remember vividly, but my point is, I've been doing this. I
Look
shot
at-
enough guns in my day in movies.
I mean, he's acting. This is a script, guys. He was given this role, and so many of these people need to understand. So many of these cop videos now are being faked. Okay, a lot of these videos are being faked because they know the public has outrage about it. The public has, you know, one of the number one ways the you know the elite control the masses is through fear, right? You know, obviously it's through the news and you know social media and all that propaganda, but fear is the tactic that they use. You know, they've used it since the beginning. It's you know it's one of the main tactics they use, and it works really well. Uh, People live in fear. You know, that's why they have these you know fake bang bangs all the time. You know, with you know inside of malls or wherever they have them. You know, so that way people are scared. You know, and they want people to be scared even when they're in their own house, but they really want them to be scared when they leave, you know, because they want most people inside the house, you know. You know. But anyways, like I said, a lot of the top videos they're being faked for you know for public outrage, for public you know, like I said, they know people will react to it. You know, if they're gonna show somebody, you know, whether it's they're gonna try to make it a race thing or whatever they try to do, they know people are gonna react a certain way too, and that's the whole point. You know, they pull on people's emotions, they pull on um, their heartstrings, right, and their fears. That's how they control people. But anyways, I just wanted to share that little piece. I got a lot to get through, so um, I don't want to waste time on stuff that doesn't matter. So let me see. All right. So this is the next thing we're gonna get to. Yeah, that's exactly what they want people to give up their Second Amendment. But right here, she's doing her little Masonic pose with the arms crossed. For anybody that knows anything about Freemasonry or knows anything about the occult, they know exactly what this symbol is here. And I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. because I'm not someone that just says something to people. I prove it, put my money where my mouth is. So again, here you have Mary J. Blige doing the same thing, but we'll go down this list real quick and I'll show you a little bit. All right. Now I don't want to go too much because I got in trouble last time. No, stupid reptilian crap. Sorry guys, but I got in trouble with my last live stream, my first live stream back on this. I guess I shouldn't say back, but back because I'm from my old channel to this my new channel now because I'm not getting the other one back. I could care less. Sorry, guys, I take a drink. But anyways, again, she was doing the X. She was crossing herself. Right? Um, that was her way of leaving the public scene. She was probably got paid off. But we're gonna go through and you're gonna see various symbols here of the X and how important it is to the cult, how important it is to the elite. And I gotta be real careful what I said, like I said, because I don't want to get no dumb strikes anymore. Again, you send Victoria Beckham. You see her little X. Okay, it's not by coincidence. It's by design. Again, you see Beyonce in her videos. They're all X in their legs. You got Busy Bone, X in it. You got the crossroads, right? Just like Eric Clapton said, standing at the crossroads. Yeah, that's what it's about, guys. Or was Eric Johnson that went down to the crossroads? You know, take me down to the crossroads. So, and like I said, she's doing X right there. It's part of the occult, guys. Again, feeder, bounty killer, got the X. You got Brandon Boyd with this X in his suspenders. So, again, Russell Brand, X, right? So, not by coincidence, guys. It's by design. XX, right? These people are occultists, right? And they believe, well, we know what they believe, right? We know the Bible says Lucifer is the god of this world, right? For the time being until Jesus returns. Okay, so they serve Lucifer. They serve Satan, and basically they revert everything that the Bible tells us to do, and they reverse it, you know. And there's a Aleister Crowley, the rule of law, the law reversal, which I've proven all this stuff before from their own books, from their own materials. But let him learn to walk backwards, let him learn to talk backwards, let him learn to read backwards. They say this there's the satanic prayer backwards. So that's where all that comes from. Here you got them doing the little pyramid, their triangle. And the reason why they do that is because, again, each angle, well, first of all, a triangle is one of the oldest spellcasting symbols in existence. Pyramid, triangle, diamond, whatever you want to call it. But again, he's doing X. So I think they're slick, but they're not. Again, you got the Blink 182 with the XX and the eyes. But yeah, very powerful spellcasting symbol. And maybe, I guess I'll go on, because on my old channel I had a whole seminar on symbols, going all the way back, to the Babylonian days. But I guess I'll have to upload it on this one. Of course, as you guys can see, they're Xing on the cross, right? Apologize. You guys got to see that. I'm sure it vexes your soul as it does mine. But anyways, you can see REM's lead singer, or not REM, excuse me, Smashing Pumpkins lead singer doing the X with the guitar right here. So, like I said, she's not doing nothing that all the other people aren't doing it. Again, Simon Cowell, okay, another Freemason on the scene. I'm sure you guys have seen him on his jet ski where he's got the Freemason, what do you call it, sticker on the front of it, right? And X Factor, right? So you got it if you got the X factor, right? And here we're going back to one of the uh, were people, I guess you could say. I was going to say the originators, but he's not the originator by any means because it's been around for thousands of years. But he's one of the more popular, older, known people that people in my days still know about. But Aleister Crowley, and of course, you guys can see he's doing the X right there. Again, you got what is this? Georges Darboy, Archbishop of Paris, 1870, observed the crossed hands X and the XI, Coronto horned devil sign given in the left hand as it holds the prelate's hat from the book How the Pope Became Infallible by August Bernard Hassler, 1981. So, as you guys can see, DMX, same thing. Eminem, it doesn't matter. Flying Lizards, never heard of them, but a lot of these people I haven't heard of. Heard Furlong, don't know who that is, but doing the same thing. Dave Gilmore, got the X's. See, a lot of people, and this is the thing with people, is they'll see something like this and they won't know nothing about it. They don't realize that there's power in symbolism. They have no idea. They don't realize that that's how their cult, the elite, that's how they communicate with each other. They do it through mouth per se all the time. They do when they're in the lodges or in their covens, with their trusted among themselves. But they have to have other signs and symbols so other people know when they come, when they interact with them interact in their daily lives. So they have signs and symbols. It's like Confucius says, signs and symbols rule the world, not rules or laws. So, but yeah, they use symbols, signs, dates, colors, numbers, uh, hand gestures, you name it. Again, like I said, here we go. NXS, you got the X there. Again, he's doing the Masonic, holding his glasses right there. Surprised he's Xing is right there. I'm surprised one of them don't have their hands inside their jacket. That's all they're missing in that one. Again, who's this guy right here? Wycliffe Jean. Again, doing the X. So I think this pretty much proves the point that she's one of them. Okay, they don't sacrifice their own people. For people that say, "Oh, so and so's a sacrifice," they sacrifice them. They don't sacrifice their own people, or they wouldn't have lines of people wanting to join. Okay, it's not the way it works. When these people get so-called sacrificed, as a lot of people say, like Tupac or John Lennon, that's just their way of leaving the public scene. Okay, they've made enough money. Most of them hate the public anyways. People are like, oh, why would they do that? They go to another country, maybe, or somewhere. Maybe there's other countries that we don't know about. There probably is. Maybe it's Antarctica. Who knows? They leave the main stage, they leave the main scene, they go to maybe one of them tropical islands like that Bavarian commercial where they showed, John Lennon, Tupac, and that they're all on that desert island or whatever, drinking margaritas or whatever, and the ship drives by, and they're all trying to hide everything real quick and put everything up. It wasn't an American commercial, but a lot of people that watch YouTube or in the truth community have seen it. And although that's probably not the whole truth, it's probably somewhat of the truth. They like to do rat poison, right? Rat poison's not all bad, right? It's 90% good stuff. Otherwise, the rat wouldn't eat it. It's that 10%, of arsenic that kills the rat, and it's the same thing with a lot of these people, right? A lot of them, are giving you a lot of truth. Matter of fact, the best liars tell a lot of truth, right? But that's how they draw you in. Then they slip the rat poison in. So, anyways, but yeah, it's the way they leave the public scene. It's their time to go. They've made enough money, whether they're bought off, whatever it is. And like I said, most of them hate the American people or whatever, the people of the world. They think they're dumb, stupid, useless eaters, and they all need to die anyways. Look at the Georgia Guidestones. So for people to think, oh, I can't, how would they, why would they leave the main spotlight? They can't stand the main spotlight anyways. So let me see if I'm making sure this is. Let me hide. Robert Johnson. Yeah, that's what I thought down at the crossroad. That's exactly just like OJ. Yeah, hey, OJ and the whole orange. The occult of orange. But yeah, that was another hoax. Right, where I'm sure you've seen that video too, where they have him where he's walking in with that one reporter with a knife just before it all happened, and they play dramatic music and he's acting like he's slashing. So, but anyways, kind of wanted to connect some of the stuff here, and here you got the little skull and crossbones with the little sickles or whatever. I'm not sure if they're knives or sickles. I guess they're kind of small to be sickles, but or not sickles. That wasn't the word I was looking for. But anyways, I do look like them, but I guess they're not. I guess I'm not sure why they have Nicki Minaj there. I don't see her doing the X because this is supposed to be people just doing the X. Here you can see she's X on her hands. Here you can see, of course, oh, it's jumping around. But My Chemical Romance, same thing. Doing their hand symbolism, doing all their occult signs and symbols. It's the way they talk. Here we go, Nick Six, right? Doing his double horns. So many people see people do a symbol right here and they think, oh, this is rock on, man. This just means rock on. Or I love you. That's not what this means. Helen Keller herself was a high ranking occultist. Another video expose that I did on my other channel, she was a high ranking occultist, her and Helena Blavatsky, and they studied several different religions. They created a few of their own too, but yeah, she was a high ranking occultist. And she, I was trying to think of that guy's name that she studied with, her mentor, where he was just huge Satanist, huge occultist, where he was saying he was having dreams where he could communicate straight with Satan, and he went down to hell every night and blah 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 blah. He was crazy. Someone Theosophian or something like that. I have to look it back up. But anyways, yeah, she was a high ranking occultist, and that says I means I love you, Satan. It doesn't mean I love you. That's the science saying that they love Satan. Anybody that says different, they have another thing coming. Omar Don doing the same thing. Ozzy Osbourne, same thing. I'm sure a lot of you coincidence theories just think it's a coincidence. They're just obsessed with the letter X, huh? Yeah, they are. They're occultists. Okay, been around for a long, long time. Lisa Presley demonstrates her Kabbalistic knowledge in this body pose in News Magazine, including the X sign of Osiris and the legs in a diamond position. This body position emphasizes the sex generative energies. Time Magazine, April, I guess that's a 5, but it looks like an S, 2005. So, boom. Prodigy, again, same thing. Yeah. I didn't want to get too deep into it, but it's exactly what it is about Osiris. Here you have, my computer is jumping around, I apologize. Run DMC doing the same thing, not just doing the X, but look at them. Cultist guys doing their little satanic Baphomet. But most people are, and they're closet Satanists, okay? People don't realize, judges, doctors, lawyers, people in everyday life, especially anyone that's a Freemason, okay, whether they know it or not. Now, most Freemasons, 90% of them, don't ever pass the 3rd degree. So they don't know that there's, hidden degrees that they don't know about, and meetings that go on that they're not privy to, and they don't know what's being taught at the very, very top, because Freemasonry not only is it a filtering pool, because like I was saying earlier, where Freemasons, occultists, Luciferians, where they worship Satan. That Satan, the Bible says Satan is the god of this world. That's why he offered Jesus. If Jesus would only bow down to him, he offered Jesus all the mountains and kingdoms of the world. If he would just bow down to him. Now, if Satan wasn't in charge, he wouldn't be able to offer that to Jesus. So obviously, Satan is in charge until Jesus returns to the earth. And judgment happens and all that type of stuff. And then Satan is out and sent to hell. People need to understand that Satan's not in hell right now. Okay, Satan has to report before God in heaven every single day. Okay, so Satan is not in hell. People pointing down below us. Okay, you need to stop watching Hollywood movies because Satan is also not a little red devil guy with a tail walking around with a pitchfork. Okay, but people need to understand that hell is a literal place and people will be there one day. Um, but not till after final judgment. For people that understand their Bible. But anyways, as I was saying, Satan is the god of this world for the time being until, like I said, Jesus returns. And the occult, the elite, they worship Satan. They're not going to let anybody to the top who doesn't take part in the initiation rites. It's just not going to happen. Okay, they're not going to let a non-maiden, a non-fraternal person, someone that whether it's through Freemasonry, whether it's through some other fraternal organization, whether it's through witchcraft. Okay, you have to take part in the rites. You have to take part in the obligations, the secrecies, the pacts, the ceremonies. You have to have paid your costs. They're not going to just let somebody who hasn't to the top. It doesn't work like that. If you're somebody that just wants to be famous and maybe you could sing real good or you think you're an actor or you're pretty or whatever, okay, you're going to go and you're going to try and you're going to try and you're going to try and eventually you're just going to hit a brick wall where you can't get any farther. You can't get past a certain point until you get taken into the fraternities, you get taken into the societies, and things like that, and then you get to take part once you've done your rituals and taking your oaths and blah 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 blah. Then you get to take part of what happens at the top, and maybe they'll put you on TV or maybe they'll give you a recording deal, but they're not going to put nobody that they don't trust and that hasn't taken part and that uh, just the way it is. People have to sell out, and a lot of people are willing to do that in this life. People are vain and they're cardinal and they want money. And unfortunately, the world we live in, pushes, that type of outlook in society where, you're supposed to go to college and get a good job and where you can make a lot of money and be rich and have this nice car and have this nice house and yada, yada, yada. So you can live and spend your whole life in debt, right? From cradle to the grave, you're lied to. That's just the way that it is. You're lied to. You're given lies about everything, about the shape of the earth, about everything. History, wars, everything. You're lied to about, and from like I said, cradle to the grave. And most people live their whole life not questioning anything because people want to fit in, right? People have the natural desire to want to be liked, to want to fit in, and that's just the way a lot of people are programmed and wired. And when you start being a conspiracy person or you start looking into truth, you start looking into things, you get a different opinion than people. You start trying to tell people, hey, the moon landing's not real or this or that. They have no part of it. You can't talk to those people. You can't reason with those people, and you're gonna be the outcast. So most people, they don't want no part of that. They don't want to. They want to get along. They want to be friendly. They want to be liked. So they're not willing to dig down those rabbit holes. They're not willing to accept those truths. So from cradle to grave, they're lied to. Just like a lot of people think this representation right here is Jesus Christ, the long hair, right? On a pale white guy with long hair, even though the Bible says that it's a sin for a man to have long hair. But people are going to think that Jesus has long hair and that he's white. It makes no sense. Jesus was Jewish, right? But yeah, he's pale white with long hair. what it really is the Antichrist. That's what the Antichrist is going to look like. They're preparing people for the Antichrist, so that way when they see that guy that everyone thinks is Jesus, they're going to accept him as Jesus, and he's going to really be the Antichrist. That's my personal opinion. That long-haired, blonde-haired guy they show carrying around the cross, you know, my personal opinion. But I'll be quiet. And this right here is funny because this makes me laugh when I see the whole reptilian arm. You know, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be a dinosaur or whatever, but someone was speaking to me a bit today about Pat Truthner, Rat Truthner. I call him Rat Liner, but that was like one of the things that like started the whole thing was me telling him that reptilians weren't real, that they're just demons, and he was like he got so mad about me, you know, and that was before I even was talking to him in a live stream. That comment, he was like, somebody had commented on him one of his because he had said something about reptilians that he had believed in reptilians or something like that. And then there was a comment on his page on his video, or someone was like, "Oh yeah, reptilians are everywhere. They're running the country, or blah 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 blah." And I commented on there. I'm like, man, don't be deceived, man. You know, that's what they have gatekeepers at every corner, and they want people to believe in false things like that because then when a so-called truther believes in a reptilian, then that makes the truth not only that truther look bad, but it makes the whole truther community look bad. Anybody that so-called talks about so-called conspiracies, it makes them look bad, and that's the whole goal. You know, that's why they put out those like a lot of those fake Simpson pardon me, I take a drink, but those fake Simpson cartoons that people will share on Twitter where they'll say, "Oh, the Simpsons predicted this." Now, the Simpsons did predict a lot of stuff. Well, not predict, that's not the right word, because Matt Groening is a 33rd degree Freemason, so he's privy to the script. He was told what was going to happen ahead of time, and he wrote it down so it would be pre-programmed in people's mind, predictive programming. So that's the more better way to say it. So, but they put fake stuff out there. They'll show people like the Capitol riot that happened. They put one out there saying showing that one guy in a blah, when that was never on an episode like that. That was never shown on an episode like that. That was what do you call it? Photoshop. That was Photoshop. Somebody did that in Photoshop. Took a screen still shot of a real Simpsons episode in front of the Capitol building, and they put that one guy in front of there and did all that. And truthers were sharing it like, "Oh, have you seen this? You know, the Simpsons. Another thing the Simpsons predicted, yada yada." So that's what I mean when they have truthers, or so-called truthers, or people that are hungry for knowledge for the truth, and they have them believing in these lies. That's the point. They want to make them look bad so that way other people aren't going to believe you. And that's the whole reptilian thing, right? They want people to believe in, for anybody that hears that, "Oh, sure, yeah, reptilians. Oh, yeah, sure." And there's underground secret Earth where worm are operating and all this other type of weird stuff, you know. So don't fall for that. The reptilian whole thing that's demonic possession. Okay, demonic possession. Demons can invoke a person's body. Okay, people, uh, you know, let their bodies be physical um, hosts, to a demonic entity. That's what that is. It's not reptilians, and I've made that clear, and I've done presentations on that. But every time I see a reptilian thing, it always makes me laugh. I always think Baby Truther. Again, Pirates of the Caribbean, X's, but of course you got the Masonic aprons right here with the X's, right? The whole like people don't even understand where the post letter comes, like the envelope, and the postage like letter. They don't even understand like where that comes from or why they wear a square mortar hat when they graduate. People don't have they don't question anything in life. They live their whole life thinking one type of way. And like I said, I know I'm talking about a lot of things at once, but that's what when I was talking about Freemasonry is that's what it is. It's a filtering system for Luciferianism, for Satanism, for those that can understand that Satan for the time being is the god of this world, and that's for who the elite worship. So they act like they're a Christian front on the outside, like they're a brotherhood organization, just a Christian organization, or many faith organization, and as long as you believe in a God, you can be a brotherhood, and they just take good men and make them better, and they just go there to meet and business purposes, and it's for so they can sit around the lodge and maybe drink a cup of coffee together, you know, those type of things. So that's what people think. Let me see if I'm missing any comments. I don't want to look at anybody I'm ignoring. The world's a stage, but only for fools. Exactly. That's like, it reminds me of that song by Rush where it says the world's indeed a stage, and they are merely actors or performers, player. They're all, something like that. Actors, performers, portrayers, each other's audience inside, the gilded cage, or yeah, something like that. I don't remember the exact words right now, but you know what I mean? That's exactly what it is they're all acting for each other, whether they're, for one movie star for the other movie star, one actor for the other actor, they're really not doing it for the people. I mean, they want their money, obviously, they want them to buy their stuff, but they could care less about them. They're, call them useless eaters, and they want to kill the majority of people off. And you and I know that. We're not baby truthers. So I actually just came across your page today, and the only video I watched on you, there was two videos, and both of them were about Rat Truthner. And the second video where it said I had no sound, I realized I'm having problems with my computer, and I only can get my headphones sound to play through my headphones. I'm not sure why. This morning I could watch your first video, but when I went to watch your second video, it's weird. My computer said I needed an update, and I've been having problems, like I said. It almost seems like YouTube, because I planned this live stream today, like they wanted to mess with my computer. They used to always, mess with me, like I said. And when I went live last time, of course, it was like last week, they gave me a strike instantly, But it is what it is. Just like OJ, yeah. Black and white checkers. Exactly, the Masonic checkerboard, the black and white, the duality. Nikki has Adam's apple. I know. That's the whole nother story. There's so many of them with Adam, with that are not what they claim to be. Um, you know, I used to like when RV Truth used to do a lot of videos on a lot of the Michelle Obamas, and with Donald Trump's wife, uh, and his so-called daughter, and so-called wife or whatever. Those are all. My wife laughs at me because I honestly think all of them are. Because if you go back to like the Rockefellers and all that, they all married, um, what. So, and they're really big into that, the occultists and stuff like that. And all those big family, if you look back at all their so-called wives, yeah, there's some head scratching there. So I personally believe that it's a sick thing that they like to do. I think that they like to have men fantasize about, something that isn't what it isn't, and have women fantasize about something that isn't what they think it is. Uh, I'm trying to be able to say it as best I can without getting in any trouble. I'm gonna start on Rockfin if I can figure it out, because that's uncensored, censor free, and you can go live. And so I'm probably gonna try that out. RV Truth is on there, and I've seen a couple of his live streams, and he's done a pretty good job on there. But I've tried, and I can't figure out how to go live. I created an account, but that's not going to be censored, and we're going, a lot of stuff's coming back on that platform. Like he's doing videos talking about, showing all kinds of stuff, like the 1997, a lot of stuff, because we know it's all staged. If anything's on the news, it's staged, right? That's just the way it is. But anyways, to finish up real quick about what I was saying about the Masons, the Masonic Brotherhood, it's a front, and those that are Luciferians, they're the ones that are told about secret degrees, and they get to go to the top. They get to be a part of all kinds of secret orders that other people don't even know about, and they get to advance and make a lot of money. And basically, they're the vice presidents in the world, and they're the people at the top of the world with all the, with the top positions, besides, you know, elite people or judges or people that make a lot of money, and or you can be a so-called Christian, which you really can't because there is no such thing as a Christian Mason because it violates all scripture. I personally am a King James only Bible believing Christian myself, but um, like I said, not everybody agrees with everybody on all things, and I'm someone that believes that it's important to be able to, as long as the foundational things are, there, uh, that we're all going to have things that we disagree on. Uh, you know what I mean? But try to focus on, take the good instead of the bad, because everybody, even, people that I disagree with, might put out some good. So sometimes, I try to, not sometimes, but I mean, like, you take the good with the bad. But sometimes, people are just so far gone. I was going to say not sometimes, but yes, a lot of times people are so far gone you can't even watch their stuff. Where if they did have a little bit of truth mixed in there, you're not even going to be able to get it because there's sermons so far gone. Because a lot of these people, they will just mix 90%, rat poison in there, and then and then 10% truth, where other people will mix in 90% truth and 10% rat poison. So it's kind of hard because you really got to have good spiritual discernment, because if you don't, you're going to be devoured by wolves. You go putting your trust in these people online and think that they're there to lead you and guide you, and uh, people, without doing your own homework and research, you're a fool. You need to do your own homework, your own research, come to your own conclusions, and go from there. You can get information from people, and you can, but to not verify nothing and just take it and run with it, don't do that. Especially if you're true, verify everything, because like I said, they try to make truthers look bad, and we got to make sure that we're crossing all our T's and dotting all our I's, and making sure we're doing our homework. So I'm gonna finish this up real quick through here because I'm totally off topic. I kind of just wanted to show a few X's, um, like this, what she was doing, showing her occult affiliation because that's what it is. But a lot of people claim that, oh well, my uncle or my dad's a Freemason or my grandpa was a Freemason and he's a good guy. I'm not saying he's not a good guy. A lot of people, um, you know, can be good people. There's a lot of good people that do bad things, you know, that aren't never going to make it to heaven. But doesn't mean I'm going to associate with them or surround myself with them, or it doesn't mean that they went to heaven. You know, just because someone's a good person, the Bible says, the path is narrow and few find it, and most find the road to death broad, which is broad, the road to destruction. So it's important to understand that not everybody's going to heaven. People love to live in their little fantasy world, in their little bubbles. Here we got a little bubble right here. But people love to live in their little bubble, their little fantasy world, and think, that everyone's in heaven, everyone goes to heaven, and that's where you die, or that's where you go when you die, and you can just keep living in sin and just live in sin your whole life. Do what you want, long as you're a good person, long as your good outweighs your bad. Which is basically a satanic Freemason motto. Do what thou will is a satanic motto. Do what you want. Don't have to answer to nobody. Just do whatever you make. Do without will is that whole the law, so that's a satanic mindset. But people believe that, and they're lost in their illusions. But people are stuck in their bubbles and their illusions on a lot of things. They turn on their daily, and the sad part is most people, from the second they're born, they're lied to. Their parents lied to them, unwillingly. Most of them don't know that they've been lied to their whole life, and they're stuck in the matrix where they got to work 50 odd hours a day, and they don't got time to go look in the truth. So they're raising their kid, sending them to some government school where these people who they don't know their beliefs, they don't know their morals, their values, and they're sending them off to those indoctrination centers for 8, 10, 12 hours a day, where a lot of them go there to get violated and God knows what else by these teachers and so-called coaches and everything else. And and a lot of them, like I said, and make you wear, what do you call it, uh, same color outfits and stuff like that. So not only are they indoctrination centers and centers where it's just about, they reward you for memory and repetition and who has the best memory and who can who has the best memory, who's going to be obedient the best, who can follow authority. That's what it teaches you, to conform, to be like others, to don't ask questions, to don't go out of the norm, do what you're told, stand up, do the pledge of allegiance. It's indoctrination. It's really, it's almost like a cult. They send you there and they make you learn lies, and they make you learn math, and a lot of the math you don't even need in life. I don't mean to like talk like just say math, but I meant like, I was gonna say subjects. They make you learn all kinds of subjects that you don't need in life unless that's your particular field. You know, math. Math, you always need to know math, but I mean, other than basic arithmetic, you really don't need to know much more than that. Know how to do your multiplication, times, divide, fractions. You want to know how to do fractions and stuff like that, because if you ever want to build anything and stuff like that, I mean, it's important to know how to do fractions, but most people in their everyday life, they're not out building and they're not dealing with fractions and multiplying fractions and doing this and doing that. So they don't use that stuff, but yet they spend 18 years going to school every day learning how to do it. Why? Because it's to keep them, it's an indoctrination center for them to lie, keep you, to make you think a certain way. But it's also because they don't want you out questioning anything. They don't want you at home with your parents. That's like, they just like they don't want no wives at home, right? They don't want the whole. That's a whole nother story. But anyways, they don't want really kids at home with their parents learning, how to work on the farm or how to do this, how to do that. They don't want that. They want you in their schools, and to live by their live in debt. Hey, you go to school, you start off in all this debt. You got to pay for school once you get out, and not to mention that this is another little fun fact that 78.9%, so almost 79%, excuse me, students that go into college believing in a creator or higher power, 79% leave college not believing in um, a creator no more after going to college. So that's another whole point of school. A big, big, important part is that's the big reason why they lie about the shape of the earth and why they lie about saying we're spinning through the galaxy, flying through outer space at thousands of miles an hour, right? That's the whole reason why they indoctrinate everybody with the whole moon landing and Star Trek and Star Wars and all that type of stuff, right? With all that type of fantasy, right? They love to work on people's emotions and fantasies and play with their little minds. But anyways, let's keep it moving. I guess I should keep it moving and not continue what I was gonna say. Okay, right here you got, look, Osiris right in the, you got the triangle, the pyramid, you got the little Egyptian eye, the Ra, and then you got the X. And it says Osiris X advanced imaging in 3D, 4D, and 5D. Shell Helix. But anyways, it that is what school is. But like I said, so most people, they come out of college and they don't end up believing in God anymore. They don't believe in a creator and a higher power, and that's a big reason why they lie to you about the shape of the earth. Because if they can get you to believe in space and get you to believe in all this other stuff, then you're not gonna believe in God, right? If they can get you to buy into all this, and then they get good people to debate. Like I used to really enjoy, what was his name? Uh, Not Ken Ham, but he used to do good debates too. Um, the guy that went to jail for tax fraud, I can't think of his name right now, but he owns a dinosaur land, whatever. And man, like, I usually can think of his name, but anyways, he's a crook too. He's another Freemason shill, um, pushing the whole dinosaur bull crap. Uh, that's a bunch of another BS, another where they try to say the world was millions of years or old and dinosaurs and blah 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 blah. You know, so there's so many lies that they push that they have somebody like him. I can't think of his name right now. I'm sure most people know he's a creation guy, and he would go against the scientists, and he'd school them. He believed in God. He said, and it turns out he's nothing but a cult leader. And his whole if he went to even jail on tax fraud is a whole nother thing because, like I said, the whole world's a charade. The whole it's literally a stage, and these news people outlets, they don't look for real news. They don't go look for real news. They make up news. They make it up. Okay, they might sprinkle in a few little real stuff, a traffic accident or this or that, but maybe somebody gets busted or this or that, something local business gets broken into. There might be some stuff like that, there's stuff like that that's real, but for the most part, it's all lies, and it's all each story has a purpose to work on somebody for a different way, to make them feel a certain way, to make them think a certain way. And that's exactly what the whole school is. So figured I could finish it up and wrap it in a ball like that. Again, got your little X with the little bacon, the little hammer, the little Arm& Hammer right here. And I almost said bacon soda Arm& Hammer, but the Arm& Hammer right here. The arm isn't there, but you see the hammer in the um, I can't think of what that is, pickaxe. But anyways, making the X. Here's a Windsor coat of arms battle display again with the X. Several of them. Also, they also have to have their pyramids. They're crazy about pyramids. The elites are crazy about their pyramids. I wish I had my presentation on here that I did with all my symbols, but I'll have to do another one. Let me see if I can find what I was going to share, because the next slide. But yeah, triangle, earth, wind, fire. Let's share the next slide. Keep it moving. So this right here is getting back on topic a little bit. Says Rust Armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed, which is the armor, which is the one with the crow tattoo that I was showing you guys, which she so-called mentions the crow in her deposition or whatever you call it, her interview when she's being interviewed by the police, which I showed you. She mentions Brandon Lee. She's like, oh, no, we make sure that doesn't happen because we don't want another Brandon Lee situation that'll happen in the shooting of the crow. So what are the odds that they bring that up and the same thing happened on her set? What are the odds that she's talking about that, she knows about that, and she has a crow tattoo, and Brandon Lee supposedly died during the filming of The Crow, or maybe, yeah, The Crow was. I wasn't sure if it was part 2 or if it was The Crow, but yeah, it was The Crow. And so what are the odds? And then what's he doing right here? 666. This is her lawyer saying sabotage. If you click the article, he's basically saying it's sabotage. She was set up, blah, 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 blah. These guys are all actors, from the lawyers to the so-called armorers, Hannah Guerrero, to the so-called lady who died, which she didn't die, to Alec Baldwin. They're all actors, and they're playing a scene out. And so, again, the so-called lawyer doing the 666, wanted to share that. What's this one? I think I'll do. This is, yeah. Bear with me. All right. So this says Brandon Lee, haunted actor for his whole life. So Alec Baldwin's been haunted, he said, his whole life by Brandon Lee's death, and he feared something like that would happen. And I was trying to get down to what is this one with the articles? Oh, hold on. The other one's got the article. So he says he fears his whole life that something like that was going to happen. And I was going to show, I got another one right here. Let me find it where uh, a guy says something similar where he's interviewed and he was like, "Oh, that's what I feared my whole life just prior to the filming of this." I can't find it. All right, here's another picture I was going to show. Like I said, these people are all actors. I'm about to wrap it up here in a minute, but again, actors. This is the so-called armorer right here. Look at her. This is the so-called weapon that I think it was this one. This is the so-called weapon that um, shot twice and killed the one person, the Hannah Hutchinson, and wounded the Joel Gurriez or whatever is however you pronounce his name. And look at his dad smiling, posing with the picture for the news. Okay, why is he posing with this picture before the shots happened? Because it's all planned out. This was all by design. Okay, they're not filming a movie here. They're filming a body camera uh, little thing, whatever, where they can pretend like Alec Baldwin shot somebody, so that way they can make a big fake story and keep people occupied because this happened right at the height of COVID when people were, um, well, I shouldn't talk about that, but it happened right during you know what time period, and they like keeping people occupied. Again, here's another picture, and then I guess we'll get into the numerology. I'll probably end it there. But because people are either going to believe the news story or they're going to use some common sense and start looking into things. Again, here you have her uh, sitting, posing with the so called you know what. And look, she's acting with her. And look, she's got her little you know what's right there. Her blanks, as she called them, that somebody supposedly sabotaged her lawyer who was doing 666 as he says she's sabotaged and someone set her up that when she went to lunch somebody snuck in there and pulled the blanks out and put real ones in her. So believe, oh, let's share this one more before we get into the numerology. We got this one too. And like I showed some of the numerology with the number 42 and the meaning of that. Here she goes again, where she's got the double bang bangs with her little stage. I forget what these are called. These uh, things that go over your shoulder that holds bullets. I don't remember what they're called, but anyway, she's the actor playing a part, guys. This is her role for the time being. She's a Satanist, like they all are. You know, a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people are Satanists. A lot of people are closet Satanists, and people don't realize it. You know, the pastors of every church are Freemasons. So, you know, call them a Satanist. Because most of them are high. A lot of them are high enough to know who they're serving. You know, some of them aren't. Some of them are low level Masons, and they're just dumb, going with the flow, sheep, lie do from cradle to birth, and maybe their parents were a Mason, and they were told, hey, become one because it's going to benefit you in your career and your life, or a lot of people join lodges too, and they don't even realize that they're what they're part of, like the Elks Club or the Moose Club or the American Legion or the Lions Club, or on and on and on, right? There's so many you can name. And people think that they're just joining some good old boys club where they can go and maybe drink some beer, play some cards, shoot some pool, talk, watch some TV, sports, whatever. I'm just saying, so I don't know what they do in there, but just saying that's what people think people are doing in there, and really they're dressing up and all their weird outfits and decor they got around the room, and they reenacting all their, ancient rites, So, anyways, the world's a stage, and they're just all actors on the world stage. It is what it is. Again, this is the woman that so-called is dead, uh, and she loves to pose for pictures with it too. And look, she's got it right on her sidearm, or right on her side. I mean, I wonder what this tattoo was. I'm sure it's occultic, and I'm sure it has something to do with because it looks new. So she probably got it in reference. And this girl has a lot of looks, by the way. So it'd be very easy for them to, uh, and people they do it every day. People think, oh, that's far fetched. What do you think they do with witness protection people? Okay, they do it every day. They take people, move them to another city and give them a new identity. Okay, it's not hard as people think it is. Okay, there's 50 states, and it's not as hard as people think it is. Anyways, all right. Let me go through and see if I've shared everything I shared. I'll share this once again in case anybody comes in late and misses it. But again, like I shared before, Cole, she's got a little Black Widow occultic spider right there, as you can see, with her devil holding the cross upside down because Satanists do all things in reverse. And they're putting the cross in flames, and they got the cross cracked, basically saying Jesus, died for nothing. And, there's lots of different. I want to say this too, because people need to understand this. There's no one in the occult, there's no one meaning uh, for things, for symbols and signs, Signs and symbols are meant to be misleading. They're meant to have multi definitions, or whatever you want to call it, meanings, like the peace sign or rock on or whatever, people think they're doing I love you or rock on, or um and people don't realize what they're really doing, that they're doing occultic symbols. Okay, that's how they get people to do those things, that they don't realize what they're doing. And that's just the way that it is. And the devil's very good at the job. So when I say, like, this might mean this or might mean that, it does mean that, but there's multiple meanings. Okay, so don't just think that there's one meaning for things. There's multiple meanings. A lot of things are meant to confuse people. And anyways, she's probably a witch of some coven, and this is how she's getting her rank. This is how she's getting her little stars to hang from her little moon. Because that's what they do. They represent their rank in the coven, and you can see right there she's got her crow tattoo. You know, so this is all by design, guys. Just know that nothing new under the sun happens, right? Everything has already been written. These people are, what's this shirt even say? Never a saint. I don't know what's the top say. I can't read the top, but it looks like it's occultic writing up there anyway, so I don't think I would be able to read it anyways. But you have also definitely multiple meanings for things. All right, so we're gonna finish this up with a little bit of numerology. All right, so of course, Alec Baldwin, Alec B is 14 in numerology. As you see, the duality, the occultists love the duality, but 1 and 2 is 3, 1 and 2 is 3, so you get your 33. But I want to read a little bit for people that don't know about numerology, because people do, some people don't. I guess most do, but some don't. Pythagorean numerology. Pythagorean method was developed by Pythagoras, a Greek mathematician and metaphysician who lived during the 6th century. The number is based from 1 through 9. Pythagorean numerology is the easiest, best known, and most widely used by modern numerologists. That's what I try to tell people, because a lot of these so-called truthers use other um, calculators, and they're playing with you. You know, like I seen one guy like that. What's his name? That Zach with gematria guy, and the one calculator he uses the wrong calculator. That's not the calculator the occult uses. And he obviously, as you guys just read, and he misleads people. Like he'll say, "Oh, Jesus is 666," or Black Label Society is 66 or 666, and I'll go put it in, and I'll put it in. I'll be like, Jesus isn't 666, but it is 18, which is 666. But the way he does it, and from his calculator, I mean, that's not what he's getting at. I mean, a lot of people probably don't even know. Well, I shouldn't say most people, but a lot of people don't know that 18 is 6, 6, and 6. But I think Black Label Society or something like that was his thing, and he said it was 666, which it wasn't. It was like 122. But people got to use the right calculator if they're going to deal with numerology. So I just wanted to say that. Pythagorean is the easiest, best known, and most widely used by modern numerologists. Pythagorean system simply assigns the numbers in sequence. So A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, and so on. Pythagorean numerology is often referred to as Western numerology, and as well as modern numerology. Pythagorean system uses only single digit numbers. Numerology is only an excellent way to gain insight. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't care about that. And then Chaldean numerology system is perhaps the oldest and most form of numerology known. Its origin is from ancient Babylon, which is exactly true. That's where it comes from, ancient Babylon. And like all things seem to go back to Babylon, right? They just seem to keep redoing the past. History just seems to keep repeating itself, and people are dumb. People fall for it, the whole Caesar effect, I guess. People just fall for it. You give them their bread and circus, and I mean, they fall hook, line, and sinker. I want to finish up on my one thought real quick because I just came back to my mind that I forgot I didn't finish on it. But what I was gonna say is most people work, they're lied to their whole life by their parents. They go to school, and then if they do go to college, most of them come out, 79% of them come out not believing in a creator, and then they go work. They're in debt. They work a dead end job, beginning until they get a good job. Then they got to work that whole time a dead end job through college. Then they got to get out, pay off all that debt, which a lot of them work for years paying that off, living their whole life in debt. Then they get a whole expensive house they can't afford, $300,000, $400,000 house or whatever. So that way they got to make a mortgage and all kinds of other payments. And a lot of them, after a few years, remortgage it, refinance it, and blah, blah, blah. So they're just living in debt after debt. Then they go get a car, snowmobile, four-wheeler, you name it. And they're just living their whole life in debt, card after credit card, and nobody buys nothing with cash anymore. The government loves that. One, they love having you in debt because it makes you their little debt slave, but also they can control your tracking and spending, right? They can tell you where you can use their card, where you can't use their card, and they also get to know when you use it, when you buy, when you sell, and what you use, what you like to buy, you know, you know. So it is what it is. Plus, if they want, they can turn, freeze your money, stop your money, say you do something they don't like or whatever, whatever, there's lots of different things that can happen. They can your bank account, take all your money, and nobody has cash anymore. It's a sad, sad thing, and they're trying to get rid of it. They don't want people to have cash. They want to say, oh, the whole money is dirty and germs and blah 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 blah. Like again, fear. They control people, pushing people with that fear. But anyways, people go work their jobs and they're slave debts. They're debt slaves, and then when they finally do pay it off or whatever, then they gotta go pay off other stuff. But the point is, they work from 6 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock at night. Maybe they don't work that long. Maybe they get off at 4, but whatever. Then they gotta go pick their kids up from school. Gotta go home, cook dinner, maybe go shopping, run the kids to soccer practice, football practice. It's a busy, busy life. They don't have time to spend their only 2 hours looking up truth and looking into reality. They want to go home, kick their feet up, smoke a joint, drink alcohol, whatever, and of the two, alcohol is terrible. Alcohol is absolutely terrible, and it's man-made versus everything else. One thing I will say about weed is I do believe that there is a purpose for it. I do believe that God put that plant here for a reason. But that's a whole nother story for another day. But I do believe people abuse it. People just claim that they're in pain, claim this, claim that. But God put that plant here for a reason. There's medicinal properties in that, like all things like roots and other types of things, seeds and stuff like that, or barks and stuff like that people can boil and get extracts and all kinds of stuff where they can, to make them healthy and stuff like that. God put that here for a reason, so I do think that there's a purpose to that. But however, people abuse it. However, I will never agree with people and say that that's a drug. I don't classify that as a drug. It's not man-made. Maybe you can say when they twist it in the paper and light it, it's not the way it's designed. Uh, I would have to. I don't know. I guess I'd have to disagree with you. I guess everybody would agree to disagree. I personally don't do it, but I don't have any problems with people that do it. I mean, I should say people that really need it medically, not people that are using it just to get high or to escape from their problems or whatever. I don't believe in the other stuff, prescription pharmacies and stuff like that. But I shouldn't talk about that because it's just another way where they can say I'm talking about something. And like I said, they hit me on my last live stream with medical misinformation. And I don't even talk about medical stuff at all because of that reason on here at all. So, people can come to their own decisions in things in life. People should be doing their own research and come to their own decisions. They shouldn't be letting the news and let everybody else tell them what to think and how to feel. But like I said, I don't believe either that somebody should be smoking their whole life, and just say, oh, I need it for medical problems. I have this or I have that, But like I said, I'm not trying to hound anybody because people have their own issues. And everybody has their own reasons for dealing with things, and I don't walk anybody's life, and I don't have to answer um, for anybody else other than myself and my household. So that's where my concentration and focus is. I'm going to be held accountable for my children, my wife, and my household, and I try to do my best to make sure that I run that in a strict accordance to how I, believe we're supposed to. I'm not perfect. I fall short. Never have claimed to be perfect. Said that, and I don't know how many live streams I've done now. It's weird because it's almost like when you haven't done a live stream in a while, you kind of get rusty. It's weird because they shut my channel down. I think February 22nd or 23rd is when I got all three strikes in one day that hit me. Boom, boom, boom. And it was weird because I hit it. I refreshed I was on my screen. It said I had a comment. I went to go comment back. I went to go hit the home screen after I commented, and it said boom, 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 three strikes. It was crazy the way they did me, and why they did it that way is because there's no way to fight it. I had almost 1,000 subscribers. Now, maybe that's exaggerating a little bit because I was at 770 something, like 72 or 73. So obviously that's not 1,000 subscribers. That's a couple hundred away, so a little exaggeration. But I mean, I was closer to 1,000 than I was to 500 per se or 250 or And I started this channel back when they first shut my other channel down. This channel had excuse me, I'll take a drink, but I believe this channel had like 60 or 75 subscribers at the time. So I made a couple videos and I decided to do a little bit of work on here while my other channel was, I had to go through the 14-day price. They said, see, this is the bullcrap part about it, is because YouTube has a thing, like a setting that you do, like when this happens. And I did it exactly by their book. And it says that you enter your legal reasons, and I knew exactly what to type, because I know exactly what I'm doing, and because my content does not violate copyright law. I talk over the videos, I pause the videos. First of all, I don't play sound in any of the football highlight clips, and I always I'll talk before it, then I'll pause it, like let a couple plays happen, or not a play, a second or two happen where this, that, where a defender might fall or something, and I'll pause it and I'll show, and I'll talk, and a lot of times I would even add effects, like I'd add like a fireball exploding or rain or, or just little things, I'd try to make them cool, I add little effects, and so doesn't that's under not under copyright because I've changed it, added my own opinion, and I'm making it for available for educational use, nonprofit use. So I don't understand how they did that because, and then in all my emails, I got 3 emails where they said, you have won your Counter Strike, but you know what? I'll read them exactly what they said, but it said something like, you have won due to the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, you won your Counter Strikes, but and your videos should be restored unless you deleted them. And I didn't delete the videos. I can't even sign into the account. So it's kind of funny that, to me, I think that they did it on purpose, to be honest with you, like, just to mess with me. But it is what it is. I'm not worried about it. Like I said, they can keep cutting the channels if they want to. It is what it is. I'm not gonna sweat it. My dad taught me when I was little, you don't sweat this stuff. And he also taught me, you never let them see you sweat. You don't give them that satisfaction. So it's just not something I'm gonna do. And I'm not a dummy where I let people in, and I'm not very trusting, because I don't. Most people are frauds. It is what it is. I was looking for the email. I guess it's not important, but anyways, that's what it said. It said when my copyright, strikes case or whatever, and that my videos should be restored, but it didn't happen. So, anyways, I guess that's about it. I guess unless I don't think there was any more I was sharing. Oh, I was gonna do some numerology. I forgot, and I was gonna finish reading this. Every letter has a numeral value 1 to 8. It has no letters attached to number 9. Remember what I told you about 9 being Satan's special number, right? Satan's number, which people try to argue with me about, and that's exactly why it's not used in Chaldean numerology, which is considered very spiritual. That's what I tell you. Using this letter in Chaldean numerology is forbidden and also a great dishonesty. Chaldean system use sounds and tones to correspond with letters and numbers. The Chaldean style matches the vibrations between the two. And if you guys know anything about vibrations and sound, King Solomon claimed that he, could rule demons with vibrations and sounds. And that's actually how he built his temple, was supposedly through vibrations and sounds. So, anyways, it says it takes into account the numerical value of your name and bases on its interpretations of the name that you are most known by. So, with that said, we'll put a couple in real quick. Like I said, we know, they love 6, 7, 9, 11, 13, 18, 23, 22. I mean, they just love them all. So, really, I have to get into the article to show you guys a lot of the numerology. Maybe I'm gonna save that for part 2 because I have some more that I want to share on this, and this is running a little bit long. I didn't realize it would go this long, and I have probably about 10 more tabs up that I wanted to get to. So I guess we'll have to postpone this and get to another one, because if I start putting these numbers in, you're not gonna know where I'm getting them from. I mean, these names from. Because all these names come from news articles where they interview certain people, and I want to tell you why they spotlight like this, like I'll say, hey, like this person, like James Gunn, like why did they spotlight this person, right? And then you put James Gunn, like I'll just show you one real quick, like James Gunn in numerology, and you'd be like, oh, his name equals 33 in numerology. That's why they're spotlighting him for this story. That's why they're interviewing him. But there's a lot of things like that where like they talk about like what funeral home they took the so-called victim to, and that equals 33. And plus, there's a lot of duality numbers. I have a whole list here with about one, two, three, four, about 12 or 15 dualities, and probably about 20, 30 names, including some of the actors on the set. Um, like I think the girl that died, her actual name is Helena, but they changed the spelling because she's Ukrainian when she moved to America, I guess. But um, I was trying. I don't think I spelled it right because she spelled it like two different ways. But anyways, her name was Helena Hutchinson, or Hutchins or something like that. And obviously, you take her first name and add her last initial, and you get 33. And there's a reason why they picked. Talk too about the numerology without actually showing you guys where a lot of these names come from. Like when I was just showing you James Gunn and stuff. Because there's a lot of people they'll be like, oh, so and so's Twitter account, and they'll show their Twitter account, and then you'll put in the guy's Twitter name, and it'll equal 33. Or it's not up 33, but 33 is the one of the highest degrees, so-called highest degrees in Freemasonry. So it's a very important number to the occult, for lots of reasons. They say that a third of the angels was cast out of heaven, which is 33.3 percent. A third of the angels, Lucifer was cast out of heaven, and he took a third of the angels with him. And they also Jesus supposedly started his ministry at 30, and he was crucified 3 years later, approximately, it says. So around 33, Jesus died. There's a lot of reasons why they picked 33. Like I was saying earlier, the whole, like, with symbology, they don't have one meaning, like a lot of people think, they're supposed to say that, uh, things have a lot of meanings. Signs and symbols have a lot of meanings. But yeah, it's very important. They communicate, through signs, symbols, uh, letters, numbers, dates, things like that. So, but and a lot of people don't realize, how many people are Masons or part of fraternal organizations. I mean, anybody that's successful in life, in your local town, they're a Freemason. From the judge to the town clerk to the lawyer to the local construction companies. The ones that are successful. The ones that get all the bidding jobs. And that's how the whole world works. Like in acting or the music industry or any other sports industry. Like you have to be a Mason to be an NFL, or most of them are all or connected to the occult, in some way. Take the initiation in some type of craft. Um, and most colleges are like that. The colleges, for any of the successful big colleges, mostly all their players are all, sellouts too. Their family members are all sellouts. But yeah, they're all Masons. They're all part of the club, and their families are all part of the club. But it's the same thing with how they only let Masons get movie acting career. Like Will Smith, Tom Hanks. They're all top ranking Masons. Jim Carrey. There's a reason why certain people get certain acting roles. Because they're Masons. If say, like, that's why, say if I wanted to go be a actor, I could never be an actor because I'm not a Mason. I have no connections, no affiliations. I never would sell out. Have no interest in that. But I'm just saying, if somebody like your average person, like me, the neighbor, anybody down the street, they wanted, and say they're not, I don't want to say the neighbor because the neighbor could be connected. I don't know, but your average person that's not connected, because a lot of people aren't. Most people aren't. The majority of people aren't connected. But they're gonna have to go through the initiation rites and be a Mason to be able to be successful. That's just is in the world. You have to be a part of some type of brotherhood, some type of fraternal organization. And then with jobs, it's the same way. If you are not, say, I'm interviewing for a job and a Mason's interviewing for the job, You know who's going to get the job is a Mason. A Mason's going to hire a fellow Mason over somebody else. That's the way it is. They're commanded to help their fellow brother. They're commanded to, help them over somebody else. Actually, I go through a lot of their teachings. I'm gonna have to start on this channel, but my old channel, I mean, I went through all their books, the Duncan's Ritual and Monitor, and I would go through, the oaths that they take, what they believe, what each symbol represents, why this, why that, why this, why this. Now, also with Freemasonry, though, they'll give the whole point of, the degrees is each degree they give you a different definition for something that you knew before, right? They'll tell you this might mean something in one degree, and then you get a couple degrees higher, whatever, and then they tell you, well, no, it means this. That's the whole point of Freemasonry. Like one of the points is to make you think you understand all this secret occult knowledge that you're learning, but really it's meant to confuse you and to be something that you never really understand unless you go to the top and you realize what the true beliefs are, but it's made to make you think you understand but yet confuse you. That's the whole purpose. So my whole point is that just in life you have to sell out, you have to be a part of the clubs, you have to be a part of the brotherhoods. And if you're not a part of the brotherhoods, you're not going to get a job. So brotherhoods, sisterhoods, you're not going to get a job. You're not going to be successful. You're not going to get any of those good career jobs more than likely. Now, luck and chance does happen, rare every once in a while. Maybe you might get hired, maybe you might work your way up. But once you start working your way, then they start telling you, hey, you got to join this, you got to do this. Hey, if you join this, you really, if you join Freemasonry or join this craft or this or that, you really can make your career a lot more successful. Do this, that, and whatever. And so people are like, oh, really? And so join. So that's the whole point. Is even if they're not affiliated, by the time they make it, and they make it a chance, by the time they get to the top, they're gonna have soul. So it's just the way that it is, and it doesn't make any difference whether you're talking about your local congressman, your mayor. They're all Freemasons. Excuse me. They're all Freemasons, and they're all in on it. It's all part of the design. So with that said, guys, I'm going to end live stream. Hope everybody is having a good day. Blessed. Staying in the Word. And I hope this information helps some people. This was more about the Alec Baldwin thing. I didn't really put a whole lot of information as far as like occult numerology or symbols and signs. I kind of touched on it briefly. I usually do go in depth. For anybody that's familiar with my live streams, I usually do go in depth with a lot of my studies, and I show all the signs and symbols, and I make all the connections. But this was yesterday. I noticed they were talking about Alec Baldwin on the news, and I remember that I did a whole like 2-hour live stream about it when it first happened, exposing all this stuff. Well, now they scrubbed a lot of the pictures off the internet. Pictures that I was showing in my live stream, like of her, clear pictures of her tattoo, and she's got a bunch of tattoos. Like the girl that died in the Armorer had a bunch of tattoos were pretty telling to show not only like who they were connected and affiliated to, but raised some red flags, about Brandon Lee and the Crow and all this other type of stuff. Supposedly, the same thing happened on that set per se that happened on the set of the movie, shooting the movie scene. It was called Rust or something like that. So total acting job, con job, like everything on the world stage, and just wanted to touch on that, and also go live, like I said, because one, I haven't been live a whole lot. So in the past few months, like I said, it was February 22nd or 23rd when I lost my channel, and I haven't went live on this channel except for once to do the Freemasonic oath that they take in the first 3 degrees. I think that's the only live stream I have on here besides the last one that I did last week that they took down. And that was actually a really good live stream. I mean, I didn't talk that well. Obviously, it was my first time back in 2 months, 2.5 months, and it is something you can get rusty on. First of all, I'm already new. I'm already a beginner as far as what do you call it, being on YouTube. I started in November of last year, at the November 3rd, I want to say, November 2nd or 3rd, something like that. So I'm relatively new, and that's the whole reason really why I'm not on camera showing my face, because I was trying to get comfortable talking before I did that. And then I also realized though that it's not important to show my face. What's important is the truth and the information to get out there. It doesn't matter what I look like. That doesn't matter at all. Has no bearing. What matters is the truth and the information, and that's what I want to get to people. And I want to reach people. And it's not right that I have information and then I'm just holding it and I'm not sharing it with people. And I feel kind of guilty the last few months that I haven't went live, and I haven't really been doing a lot of research. I've had a lot on my plate, like I said. I'm a married father with 3 children, and we homeschool. I just got done putting a roof on my house. Doing a lot of stuff. Plus I redid my upstairs. I had to put wood flooring down, drywall, paint. So like I said, I've been busy the last 2 months, and so not only have I been spending a lot of money running through my savings, but I've been busy working, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to go live. Like I said, between homeschool, work, working on the house, you know, I just haven't had a whole lot of time to do research, and that's the whole thing. Like I said, was saying with a lot of people, they get caught in the matrix. They work 12 hours a day, and then they don't have time to look into stuff. Thankfully, I'm no baby truther. I started my truth journey shortly after 9/11, when all that happened. It was probably about 5 or 6 months after that. My brother-in-law showed me a video, and it changed me. From then on, I knew something wasn't right. I knew we were being lied to on a grand scale. I didn't know everything, obviously, but it was the beginning of my truth journey, and I started going down rabbit holes. And around 2011, I came across RV Truth, and man, ever since then, like, things were in a different light, because he like really showed a lot to me. And then I started going down my own rabbit holes. I started going to sales, auctions, buying a lot of books, coming across things. And 10 years ago, you could get a lot of information that you can't get now. 12, 15 years ago, whatever. When I was on the first started on the internet, you could find a lot of information out, and it wasn't hidden. It wasn't scrubbed from the internet. You could find it, and now it's gone. Now you not only can't find it, it's been deleted from the internet and scrubbed. You can't even find it on the Wayback Time Machine. A lot of stuff. So, um, I'm not no big shooter by any means. I've been in the game for a long time. I just haven't felt the need to go live for a longest time, because I thought there was a lot of truthers that were doing a good job, and I didn't need to cloud muddy the water if I didn't have nothing to add. And then COVID came, and it was noticing it seemed like everybody on YouTube was fake, and it bothered me that there was no real people on YouTube that wasn't either into, that's not pretending that, they all seem like they're into witchcraft, and they're pretending that they're not. They're pretending that they're a Christian, or they're a Mason, like they're affiliated some type of way. So I said, God, I felt that God called me to, get on YouTube, share some of my information, share some of my knowledge, because I have a lot of this stuff saved, a lot of this stuff through the years, websites, pictures, and things that I like to share with people, and hopefully they can get some knowledge out of it. And I was doing an all right job for a while until they shut me down. But I'm not gonna let that discourage me. And like I said, the whole point of what I was saying is I was really rusty my last live stream, and it wasn't the greatest of me talking and performing, because obviously I was rusty, but the information was really solid. It was really good, and they knew it, and not to hit it with the medical misinformation, because really that's all that they could have done. And I don't know how they even did that because I was literally scrolling down and it was a picture that showed a skull and crossbones. Sorry, I'm eating a mint, guys. But a skull and crossbones on it, and you know, it was something you stick a thing in, and it said medical misinformation, even though I didn't say anything about it, didn't mention it at all. It was just something that I scrolled past, like earlier when I was showing you guys the X's, all the similarities of all the actors doing the X's, you know, putting them on their CD cases, you know, on the cover of Time magazine or whatever, and their magazine covers, Enquirer magazine, whatever, where they're all doing their crosses and X's and that. So, but yeah, I was showing the skull and crossbones, and they got that. So, trying to make sure I don't let that happen again. The haters obviously are, you know, coming deep. I have haters that as soon as I make a video, they instantly thumbs down it. So, and I don't know if YouTube started blocking my content from getting out to more people, because it used to be I'd get thousands of views per video, and now it's like I struggle to get. And obviously this channel I haven't really uploaded any, so this is a different channel, so maybe that's the reason why. But it just seems like I'm heavily censored, and I go to leave comments a lot of times on things, and it will say, "Oh, you reached your quota for the day," or "You've been timed out from leaving a comment." And I'm like, "Wow, they're totally censoring me because one, this is the only comment I've left today, and two, well, they're just sending me. Like I said, it's the only concert I left. Two, like I said, no reason, because like I said, my wife, she had on her phone. She was on her phone. She can comment, and so it doesn't make no sense, you know, on the same thing that I was trying to comment on, and it wouldn't let me. So it's clear that they're trying to. I took screenshots of it too as I was trying to do it and screen recorded it or whatever, so that way I could have proof of. People are so distrusting, which I don't blame them. I'm the same way. I'm not trusting you, but people are prove it, prove it, prove it. So I've always been, and that's good because I've always been the prove it type of person. I have no problem with that. I don't speak out of my, you know, both sides of my butt. I don't on some things that don't know and that I can't prove, and I think that's important. I think, you know, that's a lesson that we all should live by. That, you know, we can think one thing, you know, think things, but if we can't prove it, we should stick away putting it out there to people, because, you know, unless other than really, it's just an opinion if you're not putting it with any proof, you know, which a lot of people tune into people for their opinion. So I guess if that's someone's tuning into you for as your opinion, that's fine. But I don't personally believe that people are tuning into my live streams for my opinion. I believe that they come here to find truth and to look for answers, and so that's what I'm trying to put out. And like I said, I'm gonna start making content again. I'm gonna start making videos. I'm gonna start live streams again. And I got rid of all the sports stuff that was on here. Well, most of it, anything that had a video highlight clip on it, so that way I don't have to worry about, you know, get strikes. That way I can talk about truth, you know, and long as I don't talk about, you know, we all know the things that we can't talk about, but long as I don't talk about certain, or say certain, I guess I should say not talk, but say mention certain words. And there's ways that we can talk in code, you know, for those of us truthers that we know what, you know, each other's really saying. So with that said, guys, like I said, I hope everybody has a great day. I hope everyone's blessed. You know, I hope this reaches someone, you know, and with that, have a good night, guys. I'm out of here. Peace.